It's kind of a confusing product. I mean, what HP wanted to do is come in and offer a tablet that was cheaper and more affordable than everything else, which is a smart idea. But given like the specs that it has and what it is, it actually still costs a little too much money. For $30 more, you can get a far nicer tablet from someone like Google with their Nexus 7 or Amazon with the Kindle Fire, and it will last longer. It's not that much more expensive, and so I don't think that HP priced their device low enough for how it's probably going to end up performing and for what it's going to do.
So the price point is an issue.
Yeah.
All right, the Samsung Galaxy Note 8, you checked that out as well. How was it?
It was nice. It was fast. It was speedy. It has some interesting stylus features, and it works as a remote control. And so I think it's sort of angled to compete with the iPad Mini. And so, price is still, to be determined. We'll see, how much it costs. But if they can, get it at a, reasonable range to where the iPad Mini is, they probably have a shot at, competing with Apple in that regard.
It's a solid Samsung tablet. They're going to go after the iPad Mini. I know you personally have an issue with the user interface.
Yeah,
Tell me about it.
I'm not the biggest fan of Samsung's user interface. I think, they could, serve to make their design a little bit more advanced and sophisticated, but at the same time, it's not the worst thing I've ever used. So.
Yeah. Now let's talk about the biggest one of the bunch.
Right.
It's a 10-inch Xperia 7 tablet from Sony. How did it go?
It's really nice. It's probably the thinnest and lightest 10-inch tablet on the market, and when you pick it up, you immediately notice it. But one of the issues is when you have a tablet that thin and light, sometimes it'll feel cheap. And in this case, like the materials, everything was really beautiful about it, and it worked well. And it doesn't quite have the most powerful and up-to-date components, but they're good enough to where you're probably not going to tell the difference between this display and a Retina display, which is better, but only marginally so. And so it's a little bit high priced. It starts at $500 for a 16 gigabyte tablet, which is the same as the iPad 4. So I mean, it's a little bit high priced, but at the same time, it's so thin, so light, and it's also waterproof, which is really cool.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. Waterproof,
beautiful, thin, it worked well, and this is a Sony product,
yes,
right?
Definitely.
Is this going to be part of a turnaround for the company?
I mean, it could be. Sony's always made really great hardware, and so, and this is, in that tradition. Their software, is like, it's, their custom UI is not as good as stock Android, so that might be a point of contention for some people, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely another great piece of hardware from Sony.